Hello and welcome to my channel. I hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to be walking you guys through how I draw clouds with acrylic paint. So first of all, I'm going to choose my colors. I'm going to do my best to link everything that I use down below so you can check that out if you're interested. Make sure to shake your bottle up before you try squeezing anything out, because more often than not I forget to, and like clear liquid just comes out instead. So I'm going to be using the colors yellow, red, purple, and white for this painting. You guys can use any color that you want, it doesn't really matter. So I'm gonna start off by painting the sky. So I'm kind of doing a sunset, so I'm gonna start off with the yellow at the bottom. So I'm using a pretty wide brush to just slap all the color on there. The camera is a little bit out of focus right now, so please bear with me. Anyways, I mixed the red with a little bit of white to create this pink color, and I'm just gonna slowly blend that into the yellow. It's gonna be kind of messy and rough at first, but if you keep blending, it'll start to look more smooth. So after I blended the pink and the yellow together to create this pretty orange color, I added some darker red on top to blend in with the pink. After I blended the dark red, I added some purple at the very top to blend in with everything. By the way, I also took care to paint the sides of the canvas too. You guys can use tape on the sides if you want, but I think it looks a lot cooler if you paint the sides, so that's what I did. And after I mixed the purple with the pink or the red or whatever, I kind of noticed it was looking a bit too magenta-y, so I added some more purple on the very top to darken things up. And after that, I also went in with a clean brush and I just went over everything to get it to transition very nicely. And at that point, I was done with the background, so now we're gonna start painting the actual clouds. And before you do anything, I want you to plan out in your mind where you're putting each and every cloud. The secret to making cloud placement look good is to make it look random without it actually being random. So you should plan out to make the clouds look like they weren't planned out. Anyways, to start off, I'm going in with a very tiny brush and I dipped it in some white and I'm just doing the basic shape of the cloud. You don't have to worry too much about this, clouds come in any size and shape, so it's fine if it looks kind of ugly. So after I used the tiny brush to kind of block out the cloud's shape, I took a bigger brush to add more details. So the brush that I used, I don't really know how to explain it, it's really blocky and bristly and kind of tough. So I'm using this larger brush to kind of slap some paint on there. And if you look at what I'm doing, I'm not exactly brushing. What I'm doing is I'm just dabbing my paintbrush onto the canvas. So I'm just tapping the paintbrush and you can see that it kind of makes the clouds look fluffy. And I did that for all of the other clouds that I did. I also put a larger one on the bottom corner of the canvas. And a little bit of advice that I have is to focus the white paint mainly at the top of the cloud. As you can see, most of the paint is concentrated at the top and the bottom is kind of more blended out. And not only did I blend out the bottom of the clouds, I also tried to blend out the edges too, so that way it would look, I guess, more wispy and stuff. And when you're done with all the white clouds, you could probably stop there if you wanted to, but you could also add some shading like I did if you wanted to look a little bit more realistic. So what I did was I took the dark red, I mixed it with a little bit of purple so that it would look darker, and then I started to shade the clouds. So my technique here or whatever was basically the same as the white. I dabbed with my paintbrush, and you want the paint to mainly be focused on the bottom and to slowly fade up to the top. And when you're painting this, you also have to remember that if you're like me and you made the sky like different colors, you also want to change the color that you're shading with as well. So like how I'm using a dark red to shade the clouds in the pink area, I'm also going to be using a dark purple to shade the upper cloud. And for the bottom ones, I used a dark orange. After I finished shading, I added some finishing touches like with this white, and then I started to draw the clouds that were in the background. So what I did was I took the same shading colors and I just drew these tiny little like blobby shapes that kind of resemble clouds. So since they're supposed to be like really distant and far away, it's okay if they're a bit like messy and a little bit faded. Like I said before, with the larger clouds, you should also try to plan the placement of these clouds too, so that they look random. So after I did the background clouds, I wanted to add some like stars, and at first I tried doing that using a brush that was like filled with white paint, and I tried like tapping on it to create some stars, but that didn't work out quite so well. I think I might have had the wrong type of brush for that, so I decided to use this kind of like toothbrush like thing. I don't know what that is. I think it might be a toilet brush cleaner or something. So what I did was I just put some white paint on it and I just flicked it with my finger. I also used a brush to create some larger stars. I tried my best to make them like circles. After that, I wanted to create a large like cross-like star in the corner, but I didn't have a small enough brush for that, so instead I used a white gel pen. I'll link that down below. And after I created this larger star, I also added like more glimmers or whatever. I also used the white gel pen and I just fixed any mistakes that I made before. So I rounded out the other stars more and I also added some more dots. After that, I also signed my name with an inking pen. I can link that down below even though it's not that important. And I was kind of like deciding like where I should put it since I didn't really know which part of the painting would look good, but in the end I decided to go with the corner. So now that I'm basically done, I want to thank you for staying to the end of this video and let me know if you learned something from this or if you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you would like to see more.